माननीय सभासदों, माननीय सभापति जी,
No point of papers to be laid on the table. General retired V.K. Singh.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay papers on the table of the House as mentioned against my name as serial number 1 in the revised list of business today.
Sri V. Muralidharan.
Vice Chairman, sir, with your permission, on behalf of my colleague Sri Danve Rao Sahib Dadarao ji, I rise to lay the papers listed against his name at serial number 2 in today's revised list of business.
Sri Bhanu Pratap Singh Verma.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, आपकी अनुमति से आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 3 पर मेरे नाम के आगे उल्लिखित कागजात को सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं।
श्री कौशल किशोर।
माननीय जी, आपकी अनुमति से मैं आज की कार्यसूची में क्रम संख्या 4 पर मेरे नाम के समस्त सूचीबद्ध कागजातों की एक प्रत हिंदी व अंग्रेजी में सभा पटल पर रखता हूं।
श्री विशेश्वर टुडू।
With your kind permission, I rise to lay the papers as mentioned against my name in today's list of business at serial number 5 on the table of the House. Thank you.
Report of the Committee on Public Undertaking, Dr. Amar Patnaik.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay on the table a copy in English and Hindi of the 17th report of the Committee on Public Undertakings on avoidable loss due to extension of loan in terminated projects relating to India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited, IIFCL, based on C&AG audit para number 5.2 of report number 18 of 2020.
Statements of the Department-related Standing Committee on Parliamentary Standing Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizers, Ayodhya Rami Reddy Allah.
Rise to lay on the table a copy each in English and Hindi of the final action taken statement showing final action taken by the government on the recommendations contained in the following action taken reports of the department related to Parliamentary Standing Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizers 2021-22. 25th action taken report on the recommendations of the committee contained in their 20th report on demands for grants 21-22 Department of Fertilizers. 26th action taken report on the recommendations of the committee contained in their 19th report on demands for grants 21-22 Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. 27th action taken report on the recommendations of the committee contained in their 16th report on demand and availability of petrochemicals including import and exports Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. And 28th action taken report on the recommendations of the committee contained in their 21st report on demands for grants 21-22 Department of Pharmaceuticals. Thank you.
आज आपका जन्मदिन है, आपके जन्मदिन की शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Statements by Ministers, Sri Prahlad Joshi.
Sir, with your permission, I rise to lay a statement regarding the status of implementation of the recommendations contained in the 16th report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Coal, Mines and Steel on the demand for grants 21-22 pertaining to the Ministry of Coal.
Sri Vishesha Tudu.
Sir, with your kind permission, I rise to make a statement regarding status of implementation of recommendations contained in the 15th report of the Department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water Resource on demands for grants 2022-23 pertaining to the Department of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Sir, I lay this statement. Thank you.
Dhanyavad. The weapons of mass destruction and their delivery systems, prohibition of unlawful activities amendment bill to 2022. We will now take up the bill Mr. Rakesh Singha, you have to listen. 1 minute. Yeah.
Yes, sir, point of order. Sir, thank you so much, sir. You are very kind, sir. Sir, thank you. You are very kind and you are very generous on Monday afternoon. Sir, I draw your attention to a point of order. Thank you, sir. Page 92. Rule, the rule there. If you open page 92, you see in the last 6 years, not even 1267 opposition has been accepted by this government. Not even one. Today we are raising on ED. Today we are raising on our colleague Sanjay Raut. Not even one. There is a rape. There is a rape in Gujarat. It is not
Consideration of the chairman, and the chairman has given. Chairman has already given his decision. It is up to the chairman, and chairman has already given his ruling. So we should not question his ruling. Now, Honourable Minister.
We are not. 267.
Honourable Minister to reply.
Chairman, sir, we've had a prolonged discussion on the weapons of mass destruction and the delivery systems amendment bill. I compliment all the members who have spoken, and I note that there has been unanimous support for the bill, that the majority of members have actually made common points. Very briefly, sir, all members have recognized that terrorism is a serious threat, that weapons of mass destruction are a serious threat, that there is a gap in the law. Currently, the law only covers trading, it doesn't cover financing. This gap needs to be filled because recommendation 7 of the Financial Action Task Force requires all countries, including us, to ensure that assets financing for WMD-related activities is prohibited. So, keeping in mind the lacuna of the law, current law, we have brought this amendment. I believe this is good.
Please go to your seat. Please go to your seat. Please.
This is good for the security of the country. This is good for the reputation of the country. I would commend the law for the commend the amendment for the consideration of the House. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I shall now put the motion moved by Sri S. Jaishankar to vote. The question is that the weapons of mass destruction and their delivery systems, prohibition and unlawful activities, Amendment Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We shall now take up clause by clause consideration of the bill. Clause 2 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments, number 1 and number 2 by John Brites. Brites, are you moving your amendment?
I am moving.
Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendments are negative. I shall now put clause 2 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 2 is adopted. Clause 1, the enacting formula and the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 1, the enacting formula and the title are adopted. Now, Sri Jaishankar to move that the bill be passed.
I rise to move that the bill weapons of mass destruction and the delivery systems, prohibition of unlawful activities, Amendment Bill 2022 be passed.
Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The bill is passed. Now we'll take up the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022. Dr. Jitendra Singh to move a motion for consideration of the Indian Antarctic Bill 2020.
For the national measures for protecting the Arctic environment and dependent and associated and to give effect to the Antarctic Treaty, the Convention on the Conservation of Antarctic Marine Living Resources and to the Protocol on Environment Protection to the Antarctic Treaty and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto as passed by Lok Sabha may be taken into consideration by this House.
Will the minister say something? Will you say over the bill?
Sir, the Lok Sabha has already passed this bill. As we all know, Antarctica is a very unique land with an area of 14 million square kilometer. It's virtually a no man's land, but has certain constraints of geopolitics. We have 4 treaties in place as far as the Antarctic continent is concerned. That is the Antarctic Treaty, the Convention on Antarctic, the Preservation of Marine and Protocol on Environment. Now, as far as the Antarctic Treaty is concerned, it was signed in 1959. India became a signatory in 1983. And of the total 54 countries or the nations which are signatory to this treaty, India is among those 29 who have a consultative status, and on the consultative members, it is mandatory that they bring in a law which is applicable
when the
to
members
their
are involved.
areas of establishment.
If everybody
As we all know,
I allow you.
India has 2 establishments over there, one the Maitri, the other the Bharati. And therefore, in order to take care of any inappropriate or offensive act happening over there, I seek the endorsement of this House, as also already proposed by the lower house, that a bill, the legislation may be brought in so that the Indian law would be applicable on the Indian jurisdiction therein. After the legislation is passed, a committee will be constituted to frame the rules. I therefore request that the bill may be considered and passed.
I have told you all will have to go to your own seats, and then I will allow the point of order. You go to your seats. You go to your seats. You go to your seats. You go to your respective seats. You cannot sit anywhere. You have respective seats. So you and I will listen to you, Mr. Sabha. I will listen to you. Let the House be in order. I will listen to you, Mr. Sabha. So the motion moved. There is one amendment by Dr. John British for reference of the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha to a select committee of the Rajya Sabha. Member John British, are you moving your amendment?
Sir,
you are moving?
Sir, I am moving the amendment.
All right, all right, very good. Motion moved. Motion moved. So, the motion for consideration of the bill and the amendment moved thereto are now open for discussion. Member desiring to speak, they can speak, and yeah, I have allowed you. I have allowed you. The John British has moved an amendment. He has the right. He has the right. He has moved the amendment. Don't talk. Please go to your seat. Don't bring disorder. Mr. British has moved his amendment. He has the first opportunity. Now you raise your point of order. and you all go to your seats.
Mr. Vice Chairman, unnecessarily our energy is being extracted. Sir, you don't turn to our side at all, sir. Sir, I have to express our grievance. When the
Under what rule, Mr.
Sir,
Siba?
what's the rule 258? Shall I read it out?
Please read it out.
What is it? 258, you know very well. I'll read it out again and again.
That's a
Yes.
general rule.
Any member may at any time submit a point of order for the decision of the chairman, but in doing so shall confine himself to stating the point. Yes, I'm confining myself to the point. Sir, when the weapons of mass destruction in the delivery system bill was passed, no, this is your, sir, why are you interfering? Why are you interfering?
Mr. Siba,
Listen, sir.
don't. No, that is not the way.
Sir,
You address the chair. You are not addressing the chair. You are addressing others. You address the chair.
when you put it to voice vote,
You address the chair.
I am addressing you only. When it was put to voice vote, Mr. Elamar and Karim stood up and asked for division, sir. It was not at all heard. He was not at all looked upon. The bill was passed without giving respect to a member's. He raised the valid point. He wanted a division.
Yeah.
So the chair should give equal importance to us.
Yes.
Sir, we are shouting for what, sir?
Yes.
For what, sir?
Please be seated.
You
Please
can't
be
pass the
seated.
bill, and when the house is in order,
Let me
you are asking the
react to
document
Mr.
be
Elman and Karim. Please be seated.
I repeatedly asked
You
didn't hear that.
You see, no, you cannot hear.
I was on my seat.
Members were on the wall of the house shouting all sorts of things. So you cannot raise a point of order from the wall of the house. You cannot demand a division from the wall of the house. From the wall of the house, you cannot demand division from the wall of the house. No, you cannot. You should have requested your colleagues to maintain order, always in the wall of the house. When Mr. Siba wanted to raise something, I heard him. When I wanted to, Mr. Derek O'Brien raised the point of order, I have heard him. But when the house is not in order, you all are in the well, you are in the disorderly manner, how can I give you a division? It was not heard. Now let me make it clear. You go to your seat. Then only I can allow. No, you are disturbing your own opposition. No. Congress party is disturbing its own leader of the opposition. You are not allowing him to speak. Leader of the house wants to speak, but you are not allowing. Congress party is not allowing him to speak. Yeah. Go to your seat. You are disturbing your leader of the opposition. Congress party is disturbing its own leader of the opposition. How can the house function like this?
No. देखिए, एक चीज तो है कि हाउस ऑर्डर में नहीं था, तो आप बिल पास कर लिए, और जब हाउस ऑर्डर में नहीं था, उस वक्त इधर के मेंबर को बोले कि पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर हाउस पहले क्लियर करो, उसके बाद दे दो. ये इनजस्टिस है और ये इट इज अनफेयर. वन थिंग. सेकेंडली, सर, I wish to draw a matter of grave procedural irregularity. I have addressed a letter on 29 July 2022 in this regard, wherein I had drawn attention to the fact that reference made by Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman and Sri Piyush Goyal on 28 July 2022 to Srimati Sonia Gandhi, who is a member of the other house, is in gross violation of the time-honored parliamentary convention. I had sought expunge of those words of the aforementioned reference made by Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman and Sri Piyush Goyal, and also sought their apology.
If the chairman will look into the report,
How much time it takes? How much time?
It will. You
I have written a letter on 29th.
You cannot defy the
I have
chairman.
written a letter on 29th.
You cannot defy the chairman. Mr. Leader of the opposition, let me make it clear. It is under consideration of the honorable chairman. Leave it to that. It is under consideration of the honorable chairman. Leave it to that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, Sri Nadimal Haq. Leave the house.
Unfortunate that the leader of the opposition is casting aspersion on the chair. The honorable chair is fair, and it's unfortunate that the leader of the opposition is alleging that the bill was passed even though the house was in disorder. None of our members was responsible for the disorder. The members of the opposition are creating disorder and then raising a point of order. I think the opposition should not take these dilatory tactics. We have agreed for a debate on price rise. The assurance of the collective opposition was that once the price rise discussion starts, they will allow the House to run normally. I think it's high time the opposition stops running away from the debate on price rise. I think this opposition does not want a debate on price rise. They know that they are in the top. They know that this government has taken very effective steps to stop price rise, reduce the burden of inflation on the common man. It is the opposition-ruled states who have not yet reduced the VAT on petrol and diesel. They know very well that they are responsible. They are responsible in their states for the price rise. And therefore, the opposition is running away. The opposition is running away from the debate on price rise by raising all these issues. They should sit in their chair, allow discussion, allow debate, then they can have a solution also. They should stop casting aspersions on the chair.
All right, Honorable LOP has raised an issue. Honorable LOP has raised an issue, and the leader of the House has properly replied. So the debate on price rise will take up tomorrow. The leader of the House has already promised that debate on price rise will be held tomorrow. So now you go to your seat. You go to your seat. Go to your seat. Mr. Nadimal Haq will on the bill. Nadimal Haq, I have called Nadimal Haq, not you, Nadimal Haq. No point of order when the House is in disorder. The House is in, you go to your seats, then there can be point of order. How can there be point of order when the House is in disorder? Nadimal Haq.
When the House will be in order, sir, you are not allowing point of order.
महंगाई के विषय में कल चर्चा होगी. जाइए, अपने सीट पे जाइए.
Sir, speaking. Sir, I'm here, sir.
Okay.
The House is not in order, sir. See, the members are sitting on there. The members are sitting on the way of the House.
You appeal your own member.
The members are sitting in the way of the House, sir. How can you allow the bill discussion on the bill, sir? How can you allow? Sir, people ask, other members are asking for point of order. They are sitting in the way of the House. You are not allowing them.
I cannot take any point of order when the people are sitting here. No. It cannot go simultaneously. You make disorder and you want to use point of order. There is no point of order in the melee of disorder. No. Yes.
How can you allow, sir? It is total injustice. The House is not in order. The House is not in order, sir. How can you allow?
So will you speak?
I am speaking, sir.
Will you
I am
speak?
already speaking on it.
So please speak on the bill. No. That is not the subject. You speak on the subject. You speak on the subject.
Are sitting in the
Yes.
bench. So please bring the House in order.
You speak
My
on-
leaders are sitting over there.
They are your own member. They are your own member to appeal to them so that they can go. And now
Please bring the
I'll
House in
call the
order,
next
sir.
speaker,
Sir.
M. Muhammad Abdullah. M. Muhammad Abdullah. Not present. Then Sri Sujit Kumar. Sri Sujit Kumar on this bill. No point of order when the house is in disorder and you have to go to your seat. Everybody will have to go to your seat. Then only. Mr. Sujit Kumar.
सर
Yes, so Mr. Sujit Kumar, only your speech will go on record, nothing else. Nothing else will go on record, only Sujit Kumar's speech will go on record.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I stand on behalf of my party to support the bill because it's very much in the interest of the nation. Sir, we have two permanent stations in Antarctica, Maitri and Bharti. Sir, we had one station called Dakshin Gangotri way back in 1980. Sir, many countries are engaged in various kind of activities in Antarctica, just like we do. India is a signatory to the Antarctica Treaty amongst the 54 countries that are signatory to the treaty. India is also a member of the National Antarctic Program called COMNAP and Scientific Committee of Antarctica Research. So these are very important platforms, international platforms, which shows the significance and the clout of India in Antarctica. Now, sir, why there is a need for this bill? Sir, out of the 54 countries, 27 countries have enacted domestic legislation to regulate activities in Antarctica. Now, sir, the responsibility for undertaking any activity in Antarctica, whether it's fishing or whether it's logistics or whether it is scientific research, lies with the country that sets up the station in Antarctica. Hence, sir, there is a need for this bill. Sir, also, sir, as we all know, climate change is a reality now, and the activities and the research program of India in Antarctica is only going to increase. In the future, sir, we also anticipate that there will be a lot of shipping, lot of tourism from India going to Antarctica. As of now, there is no shipping or no tourism allowed in Antarctica from India, but in the future when it's allowed, then I think, sir, there will be definitely a need to regulate these activities as per the international norms and international conventions. Hence, sir, there is a need for this domestic legislation. Sir, this is also, sir, in sync with the emergence of India as a major global power in various sectors. Now, sir, why and how this framework will be in India's interest? First of all, sir, because this will lead to standardization of environmental quality.
Procedure that's being followed.
That it will lead to standardization of environmental clarity in tune with domestic environmental legislations. Secondly, sir, it will give a huge boost to domestic research, scientific research, and I have said this time and again that we as a nation spend very less on research. As a nation, we spend only 0.7% of our GDP on scientific research. So I think, sir, this bill, when enacted into an act, will give a boost to scientific research in our country. Hence, we welcome this bill. Sir, finally, when the world is looking at alternate logistics network, alternate supply chain, I think, sir, India has a great opportunity to emerge as a supply chain provider of the world. So, sir, our shipping industry will also get a boost when there is regulation and when we are in tune with global conventions and norms. So all in all, sir, I think this is a wonderful bill which will help India realize its dream of becoming a $5 trillion economy, give boost to scientific research, and finally give a boost to our scientific community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next speaker is Niranjan Reddy, Singapore. Please. So don't disturb. It's a maiden speech. You can speak. You can take your time. It's a maiden speech. I'll allow you.
I thank the Honorable Speaker, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak. But this is my first opportunity of speaking in the August House. So I would want to start my speech by thanking the person who made it possible for me to come to this house and address this great house, that is my Chief Minister, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy. Then, sir, on the bill, I am standing to support the bill on behalf of my party because this is a bill that shows India as a consultative partner. India is amongst the only 29 consultative partners that has been accorded a status to be consulted with regard to the actions on Antarctica. I commend the government for bringing this bill because in that special capacity as a consultative partner, I think it is our responsibility to ensure that we do this environmentally important activities. Sir, while I support the bill entirely, I have a few constructive suggestions for the government and the Honorable Minister on 3 or 4 aspects. Sir, if I may have the Honorable Minister's attention, sir, I have 3 or 4 only constructive suggestions if you think it will help improve the bill. I support the bill fully. Sir, in the first instance, there are 4 points on which I want to make constructive suggestions. The first suggestion, sir, is on the extent and applicability of the Act. Sir, I think unwittingly, the Act seems to confine itself only to expeditions that are undertaken by the Indian government. Sir, if I may draw your attention to 2 sections, Section 2, which deals with any person, and Section 3(1)(k). So 3(1)(k) defines Indian expedition to be a journey undertaken by any person or persons to the Antarctica organized by India. Sir, as a lawyer, I understand that this expression can be understood to mean that if it is the government that is undertaking an expedition, only then this act would be applicable. From the statement of objects and reasons, sir, I see that the intention seems to be that this must be made applicable to whoever is traveling from India on a permit given by our country under this act. Because you're also bringing in tour operators. So just a small clarification. One would be expeditions organized by India, and sir, some other countries have the feature which provides for or permit granted under this act. If only those words are added, permit granted under this act, any private tour operator, any private expedition, any private research organization, because they will be taking a permit under this act, they will be covered by the act, and they will not be able to say that act as it stands would not apply to private players. This is the first of the suggestions. So the second of the suggestions I have, so the second suggestion I have is with regard to the committee's composition. I have no quarrel with the composition as such, sir, but it provides for 10 members of the level of under-secretary or more. It provides only for 2 scientific or independent experts. So this is an act that deals with environment, and it also requires the committee to consider environmental aspects. So sir, I am only making a humble suggestion that if you could consider having this independent experts number increased to 4 or 5, because they may be able to assist the committee better. So the third suggestion of mine is with regard to the functioning of the committee. So Section 25 provides that the committee will also monitor the activities in relation to permits granted. That's a very salutary feature because it is not a committee that is only going to be granting permits and doing nothing more. So if the committee has to monitor, sir, I find one small lacuna in the Act, which is that there is no provision made for any permit holders after completing their expedition to come back and submit a compliance report. So, sir, if you can bring in a feature that whoever is permitted, the permit is for a particular length of time. After the length of time, if they can come, they are required to come back and submit a compliance report, then the committee would be able to monitor it. Sir, you have a feature similar like this with regard to section 38, where if it is a waste disposal requirement, they have to come back and submit a compliance. So it is a part of the Act, but it is there only for waste and sewage disposal. It is not there in relation to the other conditions which can be laid down as a part of granting the permit itself. So the third one suggestion I have, and I think this is going to be a little critical, sir, for the functioning of the Act, is the
Honorable member,
granted under
honorable
section
member,
27.
honorable member, you address the chair.
I'm sorry. My apologies. The Honorable Speaker, sir, section 27 provides for the permit which is to be granted. It provides, sir, for 3 steps for a person seeking permit, even if it's a tour operator undertaking a tour or any scientific expedition. Our Act is a little cumbersome because it is providing for 3 different steps. So if I may show section 27, and if I seek your indulgence to refer to it very briefly. First instance, step number 1, whoever is applying for grant of any permit must undertake one environment impact assessment under section 27(5), sir. After he makes that assessment, he will then make an application to the committee. The committee will then decide if this would have any minor or transitional impact on environment. If it so feels, step 2, it will ask these persons to undertake an initial environment assessment study. If after that initial assessment is done, sir, if they find that it is likely to cause more damage, then they will ask them to submit a comprehensive environment assessment, sir. Sir, just for illustration, sir, I'll just take 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm just making some important legal points, yes, sir, but only for consideration.
Okay, conclude.
Yes, sir. Sir, the 3-stage process is slightly removed from comparable international legislations like UK and US, sir, where US provides that in the first instance, if the person starting the project himself knows that this is likely to cause considerable, more than normal damage, he can directly apply by saying that I have undertaken this comprehensive environment impact assessment. Please consider for the serious one only. Otherwise now, sir, if someone wants to carry out any expedition which may have more than minor consequences, 3-stage process is provided, sir. And sir, in the comparable laws, if the first study reports that it is likely to cause less than minor damage, sir, then the expedition can start straight away.
Yeah. Your party time is over, but since you are a new member and it is your maiden, you can make it. It is your maiden speech. Since it is your maiden speech, I allow you time.
Yes, sir. And I am going to take only 1 or 2 more minutes, sir. I don't want to claim that privilege and waste the House's time. Sir, the last of my suggestions is with regard to the court's jurisdiction. Sir, we are to constitute special courts under section 48. And sir, very importantly, I commend the government for thinking through this. In 48(5), it provides that even if an offence is committed on the Antarctica glacier or the lands, it will be deemed that it has been committed in India. So this is very important so that it takes away any allegations of extraterritorial application. By law, it can be deemed to have been committed in India. Sir, but while we make this provision in 48(5), I find that we are missing out a similar provision under 48(6). 48(6) again is a very important feature where you provide that apart from any offence under this act, if a person is committing any other offence, the special court can try the other offence also. But when you are providing for the other offence to be tried, sir, the bill does not provide that even that offence will be deemed to have been committed within the territory of India, because if it provides that it is so committed, so deemed, like under 48(5), there won't be a problem. Otherwise, sir, tomorrow someone might say that an act and an offence under this act can be tried in India because 48(5) provides for it, but an offence, let me say under IPC or some other provision, cannot be tried in India because 48(6) does not provide for it. Sir, the last of my suggestions, I have completed my suggestions on the legalities of the bill, sir. So this is a forward-looking, timely bill, espouses India as an environmentally responsible state, and in the global order that we are seeking to achieve, where we want to be the forerunner of environmental issues. So this is a very, very important bill. Sir, I would conclude by only making one more request, sir. So this is a very salutary bill in respect of any expeditions to Antarctica. Sir, I suggest that we have a few ecologically sensitive areas in the immediate neighborhood of India, like Andaman, Corals, we have Lakshadweep. I am only suggesting, sir, the government may consider taking a cue from what we are doing in respect of Antarctica bill. If we can come up with some other bill for ensuring that we also protect the ecologically sensitive regions in our immediate vicinity and a part of our territorial limits. Sir, I thank you all for granting me the opportunity.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sri A.A. Rahim. But Mr. A.A. Rahim. So he is not going to speak, looks like. The next speaker is Sri J.K. Vasan. J.K. Vasan.
The aim of the bill is to take national preventive measures
You go to your seat. You go to your
the
seat.
environment of Antarctica.
Mr. Sanjay,
The bill now
please go
puts
to
into
your
a
seat.
phase of comprehensive list of
Don't disturb the member.
related to Antarctica for scientific
Don't disturb the member.
exploitation as well as individuals, companies,
Later.
activities, sir. The bill is the need of the hour, not only for our country but also for the world, sir. I extend my support to this bill, sir.
Thank you. Srimati Priyanka Chaturvedi. Priyanka Chaturvedi. Not present. Sri Ramji. Sri Ramji. Professor Ram Gopal Yadav. Then Sri Abdul Wahab. Wahabji. Will you speak, please?
This one we are talking about climatic change in Antarctica, but I am asking the democratic climate in India. Yes. First you make the democratic climate in India in order. Then we can talk about Antarctica climate.
Speak on the subject. All right. Thank you. The next speaker is Srimati Bandana Chavan. Bandana Chavan.
Sir, there's so much disruption in the house and we are not getting a chance to speak.
Yes.
Become issue
Yes.
for us,
Yes.
sir.
You are very right.
Where are we going to
You are
speak?
very right. You are disturbing the honourable members. The house is missing good contributions to this house. The house is missing good contributions which could have been made by Sri Bandana Chavanji. The next speaker is Binay Vishwam. Binay Vishwam. Not speaking. Now Sri Sushil Modi.
राष्ट्रपति महोदय, मैं इंडिया अंटार्कटिक बिल 2022 के पक्ष में बोलने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूँ। सर, अंटार्कटिका इज ए हिस्ट्री ऑफ 140 ईयर्स। 20वीं शताब्दी के प्रारंभ में अनेक एक्सप्लोरर्स ने समुद्री यात्रा की, लेकिन कोई सफल नहीं हुआ। लेकिन 15 दिसंबर 1911 को रोनाल्ड एमर्सन ने पहली बार साउथ पोल पहुंचा और जिंदा वहां से लौट कर आया। सर, the ice sheet is the single largest piece of ice on this earth. अगर साउथ पोल की अगर आइस मेल्ट करने लग जाए तो पैसिफिक और इंडियन ओशन के बहुत सारे जो आइलैंड है वो खतरे में पड़ जाएंगे। और सती महोदय, ये 5th लार्जेस्ट कॉन्टिनेंट ऑन अर्थ with a geographical area of 14 million square kilometer. It is the coldest, driest and windiest continent. और वहाँ मुश्किल से 1000-1500 लोगों की आबादी है। और वो जो 40 रिसर्च स्टेशन हैं वहीं पर वो लोग सालों भर काम करते हैं। और जैसा बताया कि भारत के भी 2 स्टेशन हैं, मैत्री और भारती। और टूरिस्ट की भी संख्या जो है जहां 2015 में 36,000 थी वो बढ़कर 73,000 वहां पर संख्या हो गई है। सौते महोदय, इस बिल के पास होने के बाद मैराइन फिशिंग करने का जो काम है जिसमें तक भारत शामिल नहीं हुआ है, भारत को शामिल होने का उसके अंदर मौका मिलेगा। और सौते महोदय, भारत सरकार इंस्पेक्शन टीम का गठन कर सकती है। इस बिल में इंस्पेक्शन का प्रावधान है, पेनल्टी का प्रावधान है। अगर कुछ प्रावधानों का अगर कोई उल्लंघन करता है तो उसके लिए पेनल्टी का प्रावधान है। और अंटार्कटिका फंड के गठन करने का भी इसमें प्रावधान किया गया है। और साथ ही साथ अगर कोई प्रोविजंस का उल्लंघन करता है तो डेजिग्नेटेड कोर्ट्स को उनको ये अधिकार दिया गया है कि वो उस पर कार्रवाई कर सके। तो सौती महोदय, मैं इस बिल का समर्थन करता हूं और सदन से भी आग्रह करता हूं कि सर्वसम्मति से इस बिल को पारित करें।
Mr. Sambidurai, let it be over, then I will take. I will take it. I will take it. Dr. Sambidurai.
Indian Atomic Bill 2022 was introduced in Lok Sabha on 1st April 2022. The bill aims to provide for the national measures for protecting the Antarctic environment and dependent on associated ecosystems and to bring effect to the Antarctic Treaty, the Convention on the Conservation of Marine Living Resources, and to protocol the environmental protection to the Antarctic Treaty for the matter. Sir, I am ADMK party. We are supporting the bill, and the only thing, sir, we have to see as our Modi government is taking lot of measures. Our ADMK is supporting all the things. Therefore, the bill is a nice bill brought for especially environment protection and also putting research in the Antarctica thing. Already we are having stations there to see that the government intention is a good intention. Therefore, ADMK party is supporting the bill unanimously. Thank you very much.
The next speaker is K. Ravindra Kumar.
Sir, I am very thankful to you for allowing me to participate in the discussion and passing the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022. I and my party Television wholly supported the bill. Sir,
I have told him, I will allow him.
The total extent of Antarctica is 14 million square meter. It is occupied mostly by researchers and scientists. The bill proposed to prohibit Indian expedition of Antarctica or carrying certain activities in Antarctica without a permit or the written authorization of the another party to the protocol. Establish a committee to be called the Committee on Antarctica Governance and Environmental Protection, which shall perform the functions specified therein. Provide for inspection in India by an officer designated by the central government as an inspector, and to constitute an inspection team to carry out inspections in Antarctica. Provided for penalty for contravention of certain provision of the bill. Provided for the constitution of the fund called Antarctica Fund, which shall be applied towards the welfare Antarctica research work and protection of Antarctica environment. Provide for designated codes and their jurisdiction. The bill aims to promoting Antarctica as a nature of reserve the devoted science, and so ensure that Antarctica does not become the international. So the bill aims promoting Antarctica as a natural reserve
With the submissions, I once again supporting the bill. Please go to your seat. I will take the point of order of Santanu Sen. Mr. Santanu Sen, you have a point of order. Please, under what rule?
Point of order, sir.
First, you go back to your seat. Otherwise, I will not. No, I cannot take point of order unless you go to your seat. You go to your seat. How can I take? It's a disorder. It's a disorder. There has to be order, then I will take point of order. Santanu Sen. Santanu Sen.
1 second. Sir? Sir?
You go back to your seat. I have to hear Santanu Sen. Go back to your seat. No, not here. No. This is not your place. You are an honorable member. You have been allotted a seat there. Don't bring dishonor to this house. Don't bring dishonor to this house, Mr. Sanjay Singh. Go to your seat. Go to your seat.
1 second, Sanjay.
Go to your seat. Go to your seat. I have allowed Santanu Sen.
1 second. Sir,
I have allowed Santanu Sen, provided you all go to your seat. You all go to your seat. Then I cannot take. I cannot.
point of order.
You are bringing dishonor. You are bringing dishonor to this house. How can I say that you are honorable? You are bringing dishonor to this house, Mr. Santanu Sen. आप सीट पे जाइए, सीट पे जाइए. You allow him. You allow him.
Next second. Sir,
you go back to your seat.
1 second.
You go back to your seat.
1 second.
You go back to your seat.
Sir, 1 second. 1 second.
You allow.
My point of order.
Mr. Santanu Sen, I have allowed you, but your own members are not allowing you. Your own members are disturbing you. Your own members are disturbing you. Mr. Santanu Sen, please raise your point of order. Please raise your point of order. But your own members are disturbing you.
258. 1 second. My point.
Your own members are disturbing you. So they have to go back to their seat. You call your party members to go back to their seat.
1 second.
You go back to your seat, then only I can hear him. Nobody is hearing anything. No, I am listening to you. I have the ear, but others are not listening to you. I am listening to you. Your own members are not listening to you.
1 second.
Your own members are not listening.
Now they are silent.
I am listening to you.
Now they are silent. Now
Mr. Santanu Sen, I have allowed you. I am listening, but your own members are not listening. You make an appeal to your own members so that they can go to your seat.
Please don't shout at them.
You appeal to your leader. You appeal to your leader so that you can get some time.
You remain silent. They are listening to me. They are listening to me. You kindly remain silent. Sir, my point of order is under Rule 258.
But you allow your members to go to their seat.
Sir, my point of order is under Rule 258.
I am hearing you, but they are not hearing you.
They are listening.
You go to your seat and take this one. Go. Please go. Please go to your seat. 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 Let Santanu Sen speak. Let Santanu Sen raise his point of order. He is not being able to do that because of his own members. Because of his own members, because of his own party members are disturbing Santanu Sen. So you go back to your seat. Please go back to your seat and listen to the member.
Now they are not disturbing. My point of order.
No, it is disturbing others because they are. Let them go to their seat. No. This is.
Sir, they are not shouting.
They are disturbing the chair. How can I listen to you? They are disturbing the chair. How can I listen to you?
How you are listening?
How can I listen to you when your own members are disturbing? They are bringing disorder. They are not listening to you. Your own members are not listening to you.
On the bill, sir. Then how are you listening to the discussion on bill?
Please go back to your seat. No, I have allowed Santanu Sen. You please go back to your seat. 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 I have allowed Santanu Sen. I have allowed Santanu Sen. Please go back to your seat. Please go back to your seat. In a disorderly manner, I cannot take your point of order. Yes, I cannot. Yes. Yeah, but in that case, go back to your seat. I am giving you 1 minute. Go back to your seats.
Sir, you tell the point. Tell the point. Sir, my point of order under Rule 258. I have seen.
अपने सीट पे जाइए, अपने सीट पे जाइए. They are not listening to you. They are not listening. You request them.
Sir, I have seen the. Perhaps I have seen.
Nothing can be heard, Mr. Santanu Sen. Your members are disturbing. Your members are disturbing. I'll listen to you once the House is in order. I shall first put the amendment moved by, now I'll take the bill.
Sir, what about?
I shall now put the amendment moved by John Britas for reference of the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha to a select committee of Rajya Sabha to vote. John Britas.
Sir, I am pressing.
Okay, so you have moved it. Yeah. Heard the amendment of John Britas. Minister, will you say something?
Sir, I request the chair to move the bill for being passed. I have carefully listened to all the speakers. I thank them, Mr. Sujit Kumar, Mr. Niranjan Reddy, Mr. Sushil Modi, Mr. Thambi Durai, Ravindra Kumar, and Mr. Niranjan Reddy has made some very studied suggestions which have been taken note of. More or less they are already incorporated as a part of the bill, and when the rules are framed, the rest will be taken in. I request that the bill may be moved to be passed.
Thank you. I shall first put the amendment moved by Dr. John Britas for reference of the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha to a select committee of the Rajya Sabha to vote. The question is that the bill to provide for the national measures for protecting the Antarctic environment and dependent on and associated ecosystem and to give effect to the Antarctic Treaty, the Convention and the conservation of Antarctic marine living resources and to protocol on environment protections in the Antarctic Treaty and for matters connected herewith for incidental thereto as passed by the Lok Sabha be referred to a select committee of Rajya Sabha consisting of the following members: Sri Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya, John Britas, Professor Manoj Kumar Jha, Sri Jose K. Mani, A. Rahim, Sri Tirusi Shiva, Sri V. Sri Sivadasan, Sri K.C. Benugopal. Those in now I am moving the motion. Those in favor of it, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the noes have it. The noes have it. Amendment is negative. Now I shall now put the motion moved by Dr. Jitendra Singh to vote. The question is that the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as part be taken into consideration.
I have asked for division. I have asked for division.
Let the lobby be clear. Deal with division. चिंता करो ना। It's division is going on. You are a new member. This is the procedure. Division. You go to your cast your vote. Division process of division has started already. No point of order. No point of order. And if you have to take part in the division, go to your seats. Mr. Bitas, you wanted division? How can there be division? How can there be division?
Sir, it is your responsibility to bring. It is your responsibility. I am only individual member. How can I insist? Let them cooperate. Sir,
members,
sir, I will reply.
You appeal to your members to cooperate. They are not cooperating.
It is your responsibility.
I'm listening to you.
Sir, it is your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of a member. It is your responsibility and the cooperation that the government has to extend to the opposition. That matters. Let them cooperate with the opposition. Yeah. If you are unable to make the house in order, it is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. Yes. Yes. Adjourn the house. Let the government cooperate.
Unless you go back to your seats, I cannot go with the voting process. I cannot go with the voting process. No point of order now. Division has started. No. There is no rule like that. Please. Unless you go to your seats, I cannot proceed with the voting. I cannot proceed with the voting unless you go to your seats. This is not the procedure. This is not the way. This is not the way. I allow division. I allow division. But what to do? See Mr. Emmanuel Karim. What is the fate? Now it looks like there is no demand for division now, and the members doesn't want division. majority of the members doesn't want division, so I will not go for division now. Once again, I'll read the amendment by Dr. John Bhutas for reference of the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha to a select committee of the Rajya Sabha to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against please say no. I think the noes of it, amendment is negative. Now, I shall now put the motion moved by Dr. Jitendra Singh to vote. The question is that the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by Lok Sabha to be taken into consideration. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the motion is adopted. Now, we shall now take up clause by clause consideration of the bill. Clause 2 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment by Dr. John Bhutas. Are you moving?
Of course.
Yes. Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those in against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the amendment is negative. I shall now put clause 2 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, ayes have it. Clause 2 is adopted. Clause 1 stands part of the bill. Number 3 and 4, there are 2 amendments by Dr. John Bhutas. Will you move the amendment?
Yes, division, I have asked for division. You cannot deny my right. Rule number 252. Please read the rule book, sir.
Number 24 and 27 by Sri A. Rahim. Now I'll put the amendments both together to vote. I shall first put amendment moved by Dr. John Bhutas to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those in favor will please say no. I think the noes have it, the amendment is negative. I shall now put the amendments moved by Sri A. Rahim. A. Rahim, are you moving the amendment? Yes. Now I put the amendment into vote, moved by Sri A. Rahim. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the amendment are negative. I shall now put clause 3 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, clause 3 is adopted. Clause 4 to 7 stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, clause 4 to 7 is adopted. Clause 8 stands part of the bill. There is amendment by Sri A. Rahim. Mr. Rahim, are you amending? Number 28 and 29 moved by Sri A. Rahim. Mr. Rahim, are you moving the amendment? All right. Amendments moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the amendments are negative. I shall now put clause 8 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, clause 8 is adopted. Clause 9 to 16 stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the clause 9 to 16 are adopted. Insertion of new clause 16A. There is one amendment for insertion of new clause 16A, number 19 by Dr. V. Sivadasan. Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes a bit, the The amendment is negative. Clause 17 to 21 stand part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 17 to 21 is adopted. Clause 22 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments. Amendment number 5 by Dr. John Britters and number 30 by Sri A. Rahim. John Britters, are you moving the amendment?
Sir,
Okay.
Sir, I
Okay.
am moving.
Those
I want the government to accept.
now amendment
I request
moved.
the government.
Now I shall put the amendment moved by John Britters to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendment is negative. Now I shall now put the amendment moved by Sri A. Rahim to vote.
Move.
Are you moving?
Yes, move.
Okay. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negative. I shall now put clause, there can be division, there is no order. I shall now put clause 22 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 22 is adopted. Clause 23 stands part of the bill. There are 7 amendments. Number 6 and 7 by Dr. John Britters. Are you moving? Okay. Amendment number 10 to 12 by Sri Binay Vishwam. Are you moving? All right. Number 20 and 21 by Dr. V. Shivdasan. Are you moving? All right. Amendments moved. I shall first put the amendments moved by Dr. John Britters to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendments are negative. I shall now put the amendments moved by Binay Vishwam to vote. Are you moving? All right. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendments are negative. I shall now put the amendments moved by Dr. V. Vote already moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendments are negative. I shall now put clause 23 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 23 is adopted. Clause 24 to 26 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The clause 24 and 26, 24 to 26 are adopted. Clause 27 stands part of the bill. There are one amendment by number 31 by Sri A. Rahim. All right. Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendment is negative. I shall now put clause 27 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 27 is adopted. Clause 28 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 28 is adopted. Clause 29 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments. Amendment number 13 by Binay Vishwam and number 12 by Sri A. Rahim. Amendment number 32 by Sri A. Rahim. Now, are you moving?
I move.
Amendments moved. I shall first put the amendment moved by Binay Vishwam to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against?
Sir, all are in order.
Those in favor will please say aye. Those against? Those in favor will please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negative. I shall now put the amendment moved by Sri A.A. Rahim to vote.
I move the amendment. Sir.
A.A. Rahim, are you moving?
I move.
Yes. Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negative. I shall now put clause 29 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The clause 29 is adopted. Clause 30 to 34 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 30 to 34 is adopted. Clause 35 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments. Number 8 by Dr. John Brutus.
I am moving.
Number 33 by Sri A.A. Rahim. Amendments moved. I shall first put the amendment moved by Dr. John Brutus to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negatived. I shall now put the amendment moved by A.A. Rahim to vote. Those in favor will please say ayes. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negatived. I shall now put clause 35 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 35 is adopted. Clause 36 to 40 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 36 to 40 is adopted. Clause 41 stands part of the bill. There are three amendments. Number 14 to 16 by Sri Vinay Visham. Amendments moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendments are negative. I shall now put clause 41 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 41 is adopted. Clause 42 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments, number 17 and 18 by Sri Vinay Visham. Are you moving?
Yes.
Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendments are negative. I shall now put clause 42 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 42 is adopted. Clause 43 to 47 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. Those, I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 43 to 47 are adopted. Clause 48 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment, number 34 by Sri A.A. Rahim. Are you moving?
Yes, sir.
Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The amendment is negative. I shall now put clause 48 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 48 is adopted. Clause 49 to 55 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 49 to 55 are adopted. Clause 56 stands part of the bill. There is one amendment, number 9, by Dr. John Brutus. Are you moving?
Sir, I move them.
Amendment moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negative. I shall now put clause 56 to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 56 is adopted. Clause 57 stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 57 is adopted. Clause 1 stands part of the bill. There are two amendments, 22 and 23, by Sri A. Rahim. Mr. Rahim, are you moving the amendment?
Yes, sir, I move.
Amendments moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendments are negative. I shall now put the clause 1 to vote. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Clause 1 is adopted. The preamble stands part of the bill. There are one amendment. Number 1 by Dr. John Brutus. Are you moving?
I move the amendment, sir.
Amendments moved. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. Amendment is negative. I shall now put the preamble to vote. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The preamble is adopted. The enacting formula, the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The enacting formula and the title are adopted. Dr. Jitendra Singh to move that the bill be passed.
Chairman, sir, with your permission, I move that the Indian Antarctica Bill 2022 be passed.
Motion moved that the bill be passed. The question is that the bill be passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. Now, lobby be open. The House stands adjourned to meet at 11 hours on Tuesday, the 2nd August 2022.
taking care of the children in their education by increasing the price of pencils and rubbers. You're not even taking care of the economy at all. You should put more attention on the economic condition of the country than rather putting advertisements or apna dhera pitana. And the retail inflation has remained at 7, which is above the RBI's, Reserve Bank of India, tolerance level of 6. With the GST slab, price of everyday essential, you know, lot of people in the country, they take mudi and chira. Mudmoda कहते हैं, चूड़ा कहते हैं, दही कहते हैं, packaged food तो भी सही, packaged food गरीब लोग उतना नहीं लेते हैं, लेकिन मुड़मुड़ा जिसको कहते हैं, चूड़ा जिसको कहते हैं, और हॉस्पिटल बेड्स, मरीज गया तो उसके ऊपर जीएसटी। तो मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि आप मुर्दा के ऊपर भी जीएसटी लगाएंगे क्या? मुर्दा को जलाने के लिए जीएसटी लगाएंगे क्या? अभी हाल ऐसा हुआ है इस देश का कि हर चीज पर जीएसटी लगा दिया। The price of cooking oil today stands at an average of 180 per liter in this year, whereas in 2014 it was only 105. बोल रहे थे आप यूपीए के टाइम में, मैं याद करना चाहती हूँ, मैं बहुत इज्जत करती थी, अभी हमारे बीच नहीं है, लीडर थी यहाँ सुषमा स्वराज जी, उन्होंने कहा था 2004 में कि हम जब छोड़ के गए थे पेट्रोल का लीटर था 35 रुपया और चंद महीनों में यूपीए आके उसको 66 रुपया बना दिया। तब 66 रुपया में उन्होंने यहाँ खड़ी होकर बात रखी अपनी 66 में। अभी सोचिए पेट्रोल का 100 से भी ज्यादा 110 के बराबर है, गाड़ी नहीं चलती। अरे तू बैठ, तुमको क्या पता है, बैठो, तुमको क्या पता है, बैठो।
3 बार डाल चेंज करो।
अभी महंगाई इस जगह में आके पहुंचा है कि आम जनता का जीना हराम हो गया। चर्चा यहाँ हो रहा है, बहुत अच्छा, सभी बात रखने की अवसर सभी को मिलेगा, सब ठीक ठाक बात करके मैं सरकार से ये दरख्वास्त करूंगी कि आप एक जगह में आइए कि इतना टैक्स मत लगाइए कि आप ही को सिर्फ मुनाफा हो और गरीब मरते रहे। गरीब की तरह थोड़ा देखिए, गरीब के बारे में सोचिए और टैक्स कमती कीजिए कि वो भी जी सके। नमस्कार सर, थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। श्री कौशलेंद्र कुमार जी।
आज महंगाई के मुद्दे पर
और केवल एक, अरे सुनिए पहले, अरे सुषमा जी नहीं है जिंदा सर। सुषमा जी सदन की 2004 में सदस्य नहीं थी, वो 2009 में बनी। ये करेक्शन, चूंकि सुषमा जी यहाँ नहीं है इसीलिए उनको।
कौशलेंद्र कुमार जी, कौशलेंद्र कुमार जी।
सभापति महोदय,
कौशलेंद्र कुमार बोलते हैं वही रिकॉर्ड में जाएगा।
सभापति महोदय, आपने मुझे महंगाई पर चर्चा में भाग लेने का मौका दिया, इसके लिए धन्यवाद। आज महंगाई पर जो चर्चा हो रही है, निश्चित रूप से पक्ष और विपक्ष, जब जब सरकार बनती है या चुनाव आता है तो उसके पहले भी महंगाई पर चर्चा होती है और बाद में भी। आज जब से माननीय मुख्य प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी आए हैं, तब से लगातार उनका प्रयास है कि जो गांव में रहने वाले लोग हैं, चाहे किसान हो, मजदूर हो, उसको कैसे हम आगे बढ़ाएं, कैसे उसको खुशहाल करें, इसके लिए वो लगातार प्रयास कर रहे हैं। आज उसी का देन है कि जब हम गांव में जाते हैं तो सड़क मिल रहा है, बिजली मिल रहा है, उतना ही नहीं, पीने का पानी नल का मिल रहा है। यह इंतज़ाम अभी यूपीए के कुछ साथी बता रहे थे। उस दिन भी याद रखना चाहिए कि आज़ादी के 75 साल होने जा रहा है और 50 साल आपने शासन किया। उस समय देश में जो गरीब की संख्या थी और आज आप खाता दिखा रहे हैं। गांव में मिट्टी का मकान था, आज गांव में सर चले जाते हैं, अब मिट्टी का मकान ही नहीं है। देश के प्रधानमंत्री को मैं बधाई देता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत गरीबों को पक्का मकान देने का काम किया है। उतना ही नहीं, सभापति महोदय, जब गांव में हम लोग रहते हैं, गांव जब घूमते हैं तो गांव में जो खुशहाली है, अभी पिछले कोविड में लगातार प्रधानमंत्री जी बोलते रहे कि इस कोविड में घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। हम लोग भी उनके साथ दे रहे थे और कोविड में जो इन्होंने इंतज़ाम किया, जो व्यवस्था दिया, गरीब जो बाहर में रह रहे थे उनको गांव तक पहुंचाया और मुफ्त में लगभग 80 करोड़ गरीब को भोजन देने का काम किया, आज तक दिया जा रहा है। यह भी सोचना चाहिए, आज अगर थोड़ा महंगाई बढ़ा है तो उसके लिए हम लोग चिल्ला रहे हैं, किरासन तेल, तो कड़वा तेल, तो मोबिल, सब्सिडी नहीं दिया जा रहा है पेट्रोल में। ये चीज़ भी देखना चाहिए कि मोदी जी ने कहा था कि देश के जो गरीब लोग हैं, जो चप्पल पहनने वाले लोग हैं, वो वैसे लोगों को हवाई जहाज घुमाऊंगा। आज देश में गरीब लोग हवाई चप्पल पहनने वाला दिल्ली आ रहा है और कश्मीर जा रहा है। ये है मोदी जी का कमाल। कुछ लोग कहते हैं महंगाई बढ़ गया। उस समय एयर इंडिया से जब हम लोग जाते थे पटना, हुजूर 32,000 रुपया टिकट था, लेकिन आज जब जहाज चढ़कर जाते हैं पटना तो 5,000 रुपया, 4,000 रुपया में जाते हैं। महंगाई कहाँ बढ़ा? महंगाई कुछ चीज़ों पर अगर बढ़ी है तो लगातार सरकार का प्रयास है कि गांव में जो किसान है, गरीब है, उसकी स्थिति को हम मजबूत करेंगे। आज उनका जो पहल हो रहा है, किसान की आमदनी दुगना हो।
प्लीज साइलेंस। हेलो, एक्सक्यूज मी, हेलो सदस्यगण, काइंडली मेंटेन द डेकोरम,
सभापति महोदय, हम लोग 2009 में चुन कर आए थे, उस समय यूपीए की सरकार थी। यूपीए की सरकार में लगातार हम लोग भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा उठा रहे थे, चाहे कई तरह का कोयला घोटाला हो, खेल घोटाला हो, खाली घोटाला। लेकिन जब से मोदी जी आए हैं, कोई विपक्ष बता दे कि किसी भी विभाग में अगर भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा उठा। आज पूरा भारत भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त है, जहां जहां एनडीए की सरकार है कहीं भ्रष्टाचार नहीं है। तो आज जो महंगाई पर चर्चा हो रहा है और सत्ता पक्ष के लोग कह रहे हैं कि तेल का दाम बढ़ गया। अरे तेल का दाम बढ़ गया तो राज्य सरकार को चाहिए बिहार से देखना चाहिए, बिहार के तरफ। बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री जी ने अभी डीजल पर 60 रुपया सब्सिडी दिया, ये अकाल को देखते हुए। सभापति महोदय, हर चीज़ भारत सरकार करती है और राज्य सरकार भी करती है। कई लोगों का मैं देख रहा था, तो इसलिए आज जो महंगाई पर चर्चा हो रही है उसमें यह भी देखना चाहिए कि हालात सुधर रहे हैं देश का कि नहीं। आज देश में बिजली मिल रहा है, सड़क बन गया, गांव की गली नली पक्की हो रही है, गांव के किसान का काम हो रहा है। इन चीज़ों पर भी ध्यान देने की आज ज़रूरत है। मैं इस सदन में मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि जो महंगाई पर चर्चा हुआ है, इसमें देश के प्रधानमंत्री लगातार खुद सुन रहे हैं। मैं उनसे भी निवेदन करूंगा कि विपक्ष के भी बात को सुनकर इन चीज़ों पर भी ध्यान दें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद। श्रीमती संगीता आजाद जी।
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। मैं बहुजन समाज पार्टी की तरफ से अपनी बात रखने के लिए खड़ी हुई हूँ और अपनी बात एक प्रसिद्ध वाक्य से शुरू करना चाहूँगी कि सखी सैया तो खूब ही कमात है, महंगाई डायन खाए जात है। महंगाई की मार से आज हर वह व्यक्ति पीड़ित है जो आर्थिक रूप से कमज़ोर है। खासकर ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में हमारा किसान सबसे ज़्यादा इस महंगाई की मार को झेल रहा है। सरकार का जहां दावा था कि 2022 में वो किसान की आय दोगुनी करेगी, लेकिन बहुत दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि किसान की आय आधी हो गई है और महंगाई की मार दोगुनी से तिगुनी हो गई है। इसी महंगाई में आप लोगों ने बच्चों की पेंसिल, रबर, शॉर्पनर और अन्य ज़रूरी सुविधाएं और चीज़ों को भी जीएसटी लगाकर महंगा कर दिया है, जिसकी वजह से एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी तथा सामान्य वर्ग के गरीब छात्रों को अपनी पढ़ाई बीच में ही रोकनी पड़ जा रही है और उन्हें अपनी पढ़ाई को छोड़कर दूर बड़े शहरों में जाकर नौकरी करने पर मजबूर हुआ जा रहा है ताकि वह अपने परिवार का ख्याल रख सके। इसी बीच में यूक्रेन और रूस के बीच में चल रहे युद्ध के कारण ईंधन, खाद्य तेल और अन्य घरेलू सामान की कीमतों में भारी वृद्धि आई है। भारतीय बाजारों में विदेशी निवेशकों द्वारा भारी बिकवाली और विदेशी पोर्टफोलियो निवेशकों एफपीआई को निकाल लिए जाने के कारण भारतीय रुपये में अमेरिकी डॉलर के मुकाबले भारी गिरावट आई है। 29 जून 2022 को यह आज तक का सबसे निचले स्तर का रिकॉर्ड है, जहां $1 की कीमत 69.03 रुपये हो गई है। क्या यह सच नहीं है कि किसी भी देश की मुद्रा डॉलर के मुकाबले में अगर गिरती है तो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जगत में उस देश की साख भी गिर जाती है? सरकार की वो कौन कौन सी प्रयास हैं जिससे अपने देश की मुद्रा और न गिरे तथा उसमें सुधार हो? मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से अपने जवाब में यह जरूर जानना चाहूँगी। वाणिज्य और उद्योग मंत्रालय के आंकड़ों के अनुसार भारत में मुद्रास्फीतियों की दर 2021 में 13.11% से बढ़कर 15.88% हो गई है। एमपीसी के अनुसार मुद्रास्फीतियों की उच्च दर पर बने रहने से मुद्रास्फीतियों संबंधी हमारी अपेक्षाएं गलत साबित होंगी और इसके परिणाम स्वरूप मुद्रास्फीति की दर में और बढ़ोतरी हो जाएगी। अतः मुद्रास्फीति संबंधी अपेक्षाओं को पूरी करने के लिए मौद्रिक नीति संबंधी और उपाय किए जाने की आवश्यकता है। अर्थव्यवस्था में आ रहे निरंतर उतार चढ़ाव का कारण वास्तव में भारत की सभी वस्तुएं और मूल्य तेजी से बढ़ जा रही हैं, जिसका वस्तुओं में आयातकों पर प्रतिकूल प्रभाव पड़ रहा है। मार्च 2022 की शुरुआत में कच्चे तेल की कीमत $140 प्रति बैरल थी, जो कि 14 वर्षों में सबसे ज़्यादा अधिक है, जिसके कारण भारत में पेट्रोल, डीजल, घरेलू गैस की कीमतों में भारी बढ़ोतरी आई है। सरकार ने उज्ज्वला योजना के तहत ढेर सारे सिलेंडर तो बांटे और कई सारे दावे किए, लेकिन आज गांव में वो हालत है कि लोगों के सिलेंडर भूसे में रखे जा रहे हैं, उनके पास इतनी आमदनी नहीं है कि उस सिलेंडर को दोबारा भरवा सकें। फल, सब्जी और अन्य खाद्य पदार्थों के दाम भी आसमान छू रहे हैं। पहले ही बढ़ी हुई महंगाई से जनता त्राही हो रही है और जनता के हितों का ध्यान न रखकर दोबारा जीएसटी की दरों में सरकार ने वृद्धि की है, जिससे महंगाई की आग में और घी डालने का काम हो रहा है। आज आम आदमी की थाली से दही, पनीर, लस्सी, शहद, सूखा मखाना, सोयाबीन, मटर, गेहूं और अन्य अनाज तथा मुरमुरे पर 5% की जीएसटी लगा दी गई है। एक और तो हमारे देश में नौकरियों की भारी कमी है और कोई आय का अन्य जरिया उपलब्ध नहीं हो पा रहा है। इसमें ये जीएसटी लगाना बहुत ही दुखद है। अभी कोविड-19 के प्रकोप खत्म नहीं हुआ है, बल्कि दूसरी तरफ मंकी पॉक्स का भी वायरस अपना पैर तेजी से फैला रहा है हमारे देश में। इसमें सरकार ने अस्पताल और उपचार क्षेत्रों में भी जीएसटी लगाकर आम आदमी को और परेशान करने का ही काम किया है। डायलिसिस पर जीएसटी 5% से बढ़ाकर 12 से 18% कर दिया गया। पेसमेकर पे जीएसटी 5% से बढ़ाकर 12 से 18% कर दिया गया। लेंस और आई ट्रीटमेंट पर जीएसटी बढ़ाकर 9% से 12 से 18% कर दिया गया। कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट की भी जीएसटी बढ़ाकर 5% से 12 से 18% कर दिया गया तथा जिससे लोगों के स्वास्थ्य सुविधाओं में और उनकी देखभाल में भारी मात्रा में कमी आएगी। मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से ये अनुरोध करना चाहूँगी कि माननीय मंत्री जी मेरे बताए हुए बिंदुओं पर पुनः विचार करें और देश की गरीब, असहाय तथा आर्थिक रूप से दबे कुचले लोगों के हितों का ध्यान रखकर सभी क्षेत्रों में बढ़ी हुई जीएसटी दर को पुनः विचार करने का प्रयोग करें तथा पेट्रोल, डीजल, रसोई गैस तथा अन्य खाद्य पदार्थों पर लगाए गए दामों में कमी करें। साथ ही साथ यह भी अनुरोध करना चाहूँगी कि जो शमशान और शवगृह पे उन्होंने जीएसटी लगाई है, इसे एकदम ख़त्म करें। इसी बातों के साथ मैं अपनी बात ख़त्म करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। श्री नमा नागेश्वर राव जी।
Thank you, Chairman, for giving this opportunity. चेयरमैन साहब, अभी प्राइस रेज का बारे में देश का जनता पूरा आज के दिन में पार्लियामेंट में क्या बात करेगा, बात करने का बाद जो है गवर्नमेंट क्या रिप्लाई देगा बोल के सोचता है। मगर अभी हमारा साथी ने कुछ लोग बताया, अच्छा मित्र है, पहले भी जो है ना हमारे साथ पार्लियामेंट मेंबर था, अभी भी है। दुबे साहब ने हमारे साथ का जो है ना लोग भी बताया। पहले तो जो है ना ये लोग जब आप अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में जाएगा, आज के दिन में जो पार्लियामेंट में जो बात कर रहा है प्राइस रेज नहीं है बोल के, आपका पार्लियामेंट में जाने का बाद कॉमन आदमी का साथ आप लोग जरूर जो है ना कुछ जो है ना उसका बात सुनना पड़ेगा। पूरा देश में जो है ना प्राइस रेज है। प्राइस रेज की वजह से कॉमन पीपल जो है ना काफी इफेक्ट हुआ है। गरीब और गरीब बनते जा रहा है। और अभी जो है ना ये हाउस में बोल रहे हैं जो है ना प्राइस रेज कुछ हुआ नहीं है, ये बात ठीक नहीं है। मगर कुछ बात जो है ना जो गवर्नमेंट का तरफ में जिस तरह से जो है ना ऑनरेबल मेंबर ने जो बता दिया है उसको तो हम जरूर बात करना चाहता है। एक बात ने ये बात किया था, अभी वीट जो है पूरा जो है ना वर्ल्ड में 1% जो है ना कम हो गया, मगर अपना जो है ना देश में जो है ना काफी अच्छी तरह से है। उसी तरह से राइस का बारे में बोला है, पूरा वर्ल्ड में जो है ना प्रोडक्शन जो है ना 0.5% जो है ना कम हो गया, मगर अपना देश में जो है ना 100% बढ़ गया बोल के 100% जो बढ़ा दिया वो हमारा तेलंगाना स्टेट से बढ़ा दिया है। मगर जो 100% जो बढ़ गया है उसको तो आप लोग खरीद नहीं रहे। जो फार्मर का जो है ना चावल नहीं खरीद रहे, जो फार्मर का चावल नहीं खरीदने की वजह से तेलंगाना में जो है ना फार्मर जो है ना काफी चिंतित है, काफी दुख के साथ है। एक तरह से पार्लियामेंट में बोल रहा है 100% जो है ना उसका प्रोडक्शन बढ़ गया, मगर इंडिया में प्रोडक्शन बढ़ गया। अभी आप बात करने का टाइम में वर्ल्ड में अगर हम लोग किसी को खाना देने का कैपेसिटी है तो केवल जो है ना इंडिया का फार्मर्स को है और किसी को भी नहीं है। ऐसा फार्मर को जो है ना प्रोटेक्ट करने का बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। उसके साथ साथ बात करने का टाइम में और एक बात बोला है, उसको जो है ना अपोजिशन रूल्ड स्टेट्स, उसमें हमारा तेलंगाना के बारे में भी बोल दिया है। यह बात ये बताई था हम लोग जो है ना FRBM से ज्यादा जो है ना लोन्स ले रहा है। हम आपको जो है ना ये सदन से ये हाउस में ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो जरूर जो है ना हमको रिप्लाई दे देगा। आज तक जो है ना तेलंगाना का जितना भी लोन्स हम लोग लिया है उसको पूरा जो है ना एसेट क्रिएट किया है। ऐसा एसेट क्रिएट किया था, डैम्स बना दिया है, पावर प्लांट्स बना दिया है, ड्रिंकिंग वाटर के लिए हर गांव में जो है ना ड्रिंकिंग वाटर दिया है। उसी तरह से लिफ्ट इरिगेशन के लिए जो है ना हम एसेट क्रिएट किया है। पूरे एसेट क्रिएट करने के लिए जो हमारा गरीब तेलंगाना था, कम से कम जो है ना पीने के लिए पानी नहीं था। इसी हाउस में जो है ना कम से कम 100 टाइम जो है ना जो क्वेश्चन आया था, कौन सा स्टेट है ऐसा स्टेट 100% जो है ना पीने का पानी मिलेगा, उसमें बोलते हैं नंबर 1 जो है ना तेलंगाना है। गवर्नमेंट से जो है ना हमको काफी कुछ जो है ना रिवार्ड्स भी मिलता है। हमारा विलेजेस जो है ना साफ करने के लिए अच्छा विलेजेस कौन सा है बोले तो पूरा देश में 20 में जो है ना 19 विलेजेस जो है तेलंगाना में है बोल के बोला है। 10 में जो है ना 10 को जो है ना तेलंगाना का जो है ना विलेजेस जो है ना अच्छी तरह से डेवलप हुआ बोल के बोल रहा है। मगर अभी तेलंगाना के बारे में इस तरह से बोला है, आज तक जो है ना हम लोग 1 रुपए का डिफॉल्ट नहीं है। जो RBI का गाइडलाइंस है वो गाइडलाइंस के अनुसार जो है ना हम लोग ये कर रहा है। अभी रह गए इसका बारे में प्राइस रेज का बारे में साहब, अभी तो पिछला 8 साल से इन्फ्लेशन जो है ना काफी हाई है। कंज्यूमर इंडेक्स प्राइस जो है ना काफी बढ़ गया, फूड प्राइसेस काफी बढ़ गया, फ्यूल प्राइसेस काफी बढ़ गया। ये सब बढ़ने का वजह से कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग जो है ना गरीब आदमी का ऊपर आया है। वो गरीब आदमी आज के दिन में बहुत ही दिक्कत में है। हम तो पूरा कोट करने के लिए इतना टाइम तो आप नहीं देगा, मगर 2-3 पॉइंट हम बोलना चाहता है। सिलेंडर जो है ना 414 था, वो सिलेंडर आज के दिन में 1053 का जो है ना एक सिलेंडर हो रहा है। ये कॉमन लोगों के ऊपर ये नहीं पड़ रहा है। जो डीजल पेट्रोल है ये फार्मर के ऊपर नहीं पड़ रहा है। आज के दिन में एक फार्मर 1 एकड़ को जो है ना 1 एकड़ को पहले से अभी 2000 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा लग रहा है एक फार्मर को जो है ना बुझाई करके उसको जो है ना फार्मिंग करने के लिए। ये सब जो है ना काफी कुछ, उसका साथ साथ जो है ना नॉट ओनली दैट फर्टिलाइजर्स के ऊपर इवन हैंडलूम जो है ना चलता है, जो हाथ से जो है ना जो कपड़ा बनाता है उसके ऊपर भी जो है ना सब GST डाला है। सब दो एक ही मिनट सब GST डाला है। उसको चिल्ड्रंस का पेंसिल्स का ऊपर, रबर का ऊपर, मिल्क का ऊपर, ब्रेड का ऊपर, जो ब्रेड जो है ना हॉस्पिटल में बेड में रहते हुए ब्रेड खाता है वो जो पेशेंट को भी छोड़ा नहीं है, उसको भी जो है ना हम लोग टैक्स डाला है। कम से कम ये सब सोचने का है, ये सब को कम करने का है। उसका साथ साथ एक तो बात हम जरूर बोलना चाहता है, आप लोग जो है ना अपोजिशन रूल्ड स्टेट्स का बारे में बताया। अभी तो हम जो है ना गवर्नमेंट इंडिया से हम एक बात पूछना चाहता है, 2014 में गवर्नमेंट इंडिया का लोन था 56 लाख करोड़ का जो है ना लोन था। अभी वो लोन जो है ना 100 लाख बढ़ के 100 लाख करोड़ बढ़ के आज के दिन में अप्रोक्सीमेटली, मैडम सब्जेक्ट टू द करेक्शन, आज के दिन में 1,56,000 लाख का जो है ना करोड़, 1,56 लाख करोड़ का जो है ना लोन बढ़ गया। मगर आप लोग कौन से एसेट बना दिया इंडिया में, जो है ना कौन सा डैम्स बना दिया इंडिया में, कौन से एसेट बना दिया? आप लोग तो एसेट नहीं बनाया, एसेट को जो है ना आप लोग सेल कर रहा है, पूरा देश का जो है एसेट को सेल कर दिया।
समाप्त कीजिए।
मगर इसका बारे में भी थोड़ा आप बता दें। उसी का साथ साथ फाइनली हम यही बोलना चाहता है, जरूर जो है ना प्राइस रेज देश में है, ये प्राइस रेज जो है ना कम करने के लिए हर एक तरीके का जो है, हर एक तरीके का ये गवर्नमेंट का ऊपर जिम्मेदार रहता है, उसको जरूर जो है ना ये डिस्कशन का बाद ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर से जो है ना हम लोग ये सुनना चाहता है। ये डिबेट अच्छा हुआ है, पार्लियामेंट चल रहा था, प्राइस रेज का बात हुआ है, इसका बाद जो है ना गवर्नमेंट का तरफ जो जो कम करेगा वो सुन के हम लोग भी जो है ना थाली बजा देगा।
श्री पिनाकी मिश्रा जी,
ये थैंक यू चेयरमैन।
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for...
अरे भाई हेलो, बैठ जाइए, बैठ जाइए, अरे बैठ जाइए।
Honorable Minister is here, she will give a spirited reply. Why do you need to give such a spirited reply? Honorable Chairperson, thank you very much for permitting me to participate in this very important discussion today under 193 on price rise. We've all been very keen for a very long time that we discuss this in the House and we hear from the Honorable Finance Minister what are the reasons. Many reasons have already been given for that, but what are her plans going forward to ensure that the two major linchpins of this price rise, which is food inflation as well as fuel inflation, of how she proposes to deal with both. Because these are trying times, and I quite understand the Finance Minister's predicament. She's got a hard job on her hands. The conditions around the world make it very difficult for any Finance Minister today to deal with the current situation. But I think some amount of serious introspection is also required as to whether the course that we've followed over the past 4 or 5 years has borne fruit or not. I've had the occasion to say this earlier in my role as a member of the Standing Committee of Finance. The demonetization issue was raised by one of my colleagues. This continues to remain a bugbear. The government has to seriously introspect that if 15,90,000 crores was the cash in circulation in 2016, and the idea was to take India to a cashless economy, to make India into a digital economy. How is it that in 2022, the cash in circulation today is 30 lakh crores? It has almost doubled. So therefore, are there some seminal mistakes being made? I mean, I understand that the RBI governor will immediately tell us that a part of it was because of COVID, there were massive withdrawals at that point. But it still doesn't, people wanted to hoard cash, etc., etc. But these don't really touch the central nerve. The mountains of cash, I'm sorry, that are from all shades of political sides. The mountains of cash that we see on television, one in UP was 140 odd crores, one now somewhere else is 50 odd crores. I mean, there's mountains of cash which is being hoarded and which is being generated and which is obviously escaping the tax system. Why is it continuing to escape the tax system is something that we need to seriously introspect, because unless in this country you expand the tax base, and I know the Finance Minister has told us that it's gone up enormously to 9 lakh to 9 crore people now paying tax. But how many of them are paying how much tax? That's the point. By merely becoming an assessee and by merely filing a tax return, that doesn't make it a productive tax return. Mr. Nishikant Dubey trotted out a familiar argument which everybody on the government benches trots out, that we are a victim today of the oil bonds that the UPA government floated, and therefore these fuel prices are a result of that. We have to keep increasing fuel prices. I don't know if the actual figures are to your knowledge, because if they are to your knowledge, a man of your erudition and your objectivity would not raise this. Let me give you some actual figures. The actual figures are that from 2014 to 2022, 27 lakh, as Mr. Manish Tiwari said, 27,27,000 crores has been generated by way of oil revenues. Mr. Dubey, you will be astonished to learn that both interest and principal taken together between 2014 and 2022 that has been repaid by way of oil bonds is only 93,600 crores. So 27 lakh crores, 93,000 crores, the total payment made towards oil bonds from the revenue collected is 3.4%. 3.4%. So therefore, please do not keep telling us that oil prices are going up because we have to service oil bonds. That's not an accurate description. The fact of the matter is oil prices are going up because you have to balance your budget. The finance minister has a hard job balancing budget. I can understand that there is a massive amount that is going out towards your Manrega bills, towards your free food that you're giving out to the poor. No question, those are laudable objectives. Any government today would be called upon to do it. But therefore, it calls for more prudent economics. Rather than what I have always said is, and pardon my saying so, Madam Finance Minister, but this is lazy taxation. This is, you basically are engaging in what is rank lazy taxation. This is something that can easily be plucked. So therefore, it's the low-hanging fruit. Let's keep plucking it. And let's keep torturing today the youth and the women of this country who are in serious dire states. सुषमा स्वराज जी की बात मनीष जी ने कहा कि सुषमा जी यहाँ खड़े होकर बोली कि गृहिणी के आंसू बहते हुए मुझे देखा नहीं जा रहा है. गृहिणी के आज आंसू नहीं बह रहे हैं, आज गृहिणी के खून के आंसू बह रहे हैं. ये सिर्फ आंसू नहीं बह रहे हैं, और युवक लोगों के भी आज खून के आंसू बह रहे हैं. जब पेट्रोल पंप पर रोज सुबह जाकर 39 times petrol has been increased in 21-22, and thereafter price of petrol has been increased 76 times between 20 and 21. Every morning you go there, it's 50 paise up, 75 paise up, 1 rupee up. And these boys, young boys today who work as couriers, who work as delivery boys, for them that's their lifeline. They can't do without those motorcycles. And every day they go back with less money in their pockets, because you continue to raise fuel prices rampantly, because you have no other way of garnering your revenues. Therefore, for your revenue generation, Madam Finance Minister, I urge you once again that please do not heed the advice of bureaucrats who are giving you, with great respect, lazy advice. I will tell you straight away one example. There is a whole brouhaha in the country that steel prices are going up. So therefore, put an export duty on iron ore. No difficulty. You put an export duty on finished steel. You put an export duty on plus 58 iron ore, which is used in steel production. Why have you put a duty on under 58 when not a gram of under 58 grade ore is sold in this country or will ever be sold in this country? Nobody uses it. A state like Orissa today is liable to lose 15,000 crores this year, apart from the foreign exchange, Madam Finance Minister, that the government of India will lose. We will lose by way of our revenues 15,000 crores. We've been crying from pillar to post that this is a needless cess. It's an environmental hazard, because Ultimately, you cannot stop mining under 58. If you mine over 58, you will also mine under 58. That is piling up needlessly. It can easily be exported, but you've put such a countervailing duty on it that it becomes uneconomical. And nobody is willing to listen, that there is no rationale to this. So there must be some rationale, and for that, I believe that the political guidance is the only way going forward. This cannot be in the hands of bureaucrats, because with the greatest respect, I think they have a tunnel vision which they will never get out of in this country. That's a fact. Madam Chairperson, Madam Finance Minister and Honorable Chairperson, one other astounding fact needs to be brought to the knowledge of this House. Is this House aware that in 2019, 1,44,017 Indians gave up their citizenship? 1,44,017. This is told to the Lok Sabha on the 19th of July. This number came down during COVID to 85,256. But now in 2021, this number of people who are giving up Indian citizenship and taking up citizenship of St. Kitts, Belize, Portugal, all over the world, is 1,63,370. It's all very well for us to say good riddance. आप बोल सकते हैं कि ठीक है, नहीं चाहिए तुम्हें भारतीय citizenship, तो निकल जाओ यहाँ से. But the fact of the matter is, these are all high net individuals. They are wealth creators. Let us not kick them in the face and say, get out, we don't need you. Let us ask them, what is your problem? Why are you giving up Indian citizenship and taking up citizenship of tax havens abroad? I'm sorry, this is, we all need to reflect. This is a matter for collective reflection in this House. Because after all, the Indian passport is a matter of great pride for all of us. So if people are giving up the Indian passport, Madam Finance Minister, you have to look within your ministry to see whether your CBDT, whether your Enforcement Directorate, whether your CBI, whether all these agencies together is making life so difficult today for high net individuals in this country that A, you are not making it easy for them to be happily tax compliant. Tax them at rates, tax them in a manner that they will be proud and happy taxpayers. Today they are not, which is why they are running away from this country. Number one. Number two, give them an atmosphere and an environment in this country where you say that and the Prime Minister has repeatedly said this. He says, I respect wealth creators. I respect wealth generators. So give them a feeling that if you're a wealth creator and a wealth generator, you're not a sinner, you will not be punished. If we all reflect on this, and I believe our policies are in consonance with some progressive thinking, I believe that there are issues that can be easily resolved. It's a large country we have, despite the Ukraine war, despite all this, I think we have enormous internal resources, and this 130 crore population in this country is capable of collectively generating massive wealth, of being great wealth creators. But for that, we have to unshackle what are known as the animal spirits of this country and its people. I appeal to you, Madam Finance Minister, to kindly pay heed to what I have said in right earnest, and I say this in the best spirit of bipartisanship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Srimati Supriya Suleji.
Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to speak on the 193 on price rise. I appreciate all the points made by my several colleagues because it's a very, very important issue. And endlessly, everybody has repeatedly talked about सुषमा जी यहाँ खड़ी होके महंगाई पे जब चर्चा करते थे, हम वहाँ बैठते थे. अभी भी मुझे याद है उनका एक एक शब्द तब का, कि तभी महंगाई पे हम पे टीका टिप्पणी जो करती थी, बहुत शांति थी, हम सुनते थे क्योंकि हमको लगता था वो कुछ फीडबैक दे और हमेशा उनके भाषण में कुछ सुझाव होते थे और हम उनके सुझाव सुनते थे और उन पर अमल करने की कोशिश भी हमारी यूपीए की सरकार करती थी. आज निशिकांत दुबे जी जब कह रहे थे बड़े बड़े नंबर्स और 60 सालों की बहुत अच्छा हिस्ट्री लेक्चर सुनाया उन्होंने, बहुत सारी बातें 60 साल की बोली उन्होंने, लेकिन अभी उनको भी वहाँ बैठे 8 साल हो गए. मैंने पिछली बार एक बार बोला था, फिर दोहराना नहीं चाहती थी, लेकिन उनका 60 साल का हिस्ट्री का लेक्चर इतना लंबा चला तो मुझे सिर्फ उनको याद दिलाना एक बार कि 8 साल बहुत होते, नहीं, बहू भी शादी होके जब घर आती है ना, तो 8 साल के बाद शादी में कोई नहीं सीखता कि ये लेगेसी इश्यूज़ है, मेरी सास के टाइम से चल रहा है। 8 साल में वो बहू उस घर की फुल फ्लेज मेंबर हो जाती है। तो यही महंगाई का प्रॉब्लम है। मुझे उनके शब्द सुषमा जी के याद है, जो आज इनके भाषण पे पूरे लागू होते। फैज़दी की भाषा आम आदमी नहीं समझता। आम आदमी केवल वो भाषा समझता है उसके जेब से क्या निकल रहा है और उसके बदले में उसको क्या मिल रहा है। मेरी दोस्त और सहकारी कनिमोजी जी ने